Your Women Radio WFM 91.7. I hope that you had a great night rest and you're feeling great today. And of course, you're already up and going, facing your business. I just hope that this rain no shall hit you because that was the first thing that came to my mind. Waking up to the rain this morning, I was like, people that are going to work on call, hey, God, oh, please help them. That was just what came to my mind. But hey, at the end of the day, things need to be done and money needs to be made. So I'm sure that you'll find the motivation, even inside the rain, to go out. All right. So yes, this is HerLens right here on Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser, and this is where we get to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on Women Radio from Monday to Friday, right after the news. We come up here and we talk about a lot of issues, okay? That's what we get to do here every day on Her Lens. And of course, I have the ladies of Her Lens with me this morning. Vicky, good morning. How are you today? How is your day starting off?
Yeah, I started off well. Started off, today is Wednesday, so
Mm,
newspaper review. But it's good. I woke up in the morning to, the showers of rain, and it's always a blessing. Yes, I did pray. For those who are going out to work. Can you hear
yeah.
me?
Yes, I can hear you, Vicky. I can hear you, Buki. Hi, Buki, are you with me?
Yeah, so I think I'll do what I did during newspaper review family. I there are two sources of internet. One internet is not strong, so now I've switched to the other one. That was what I did in the morning. Yes, like I was saying, yeah. I start today, Wednesday, newspaper review family. We engaged, and then I was talking about the rains. That I also made a prayer for those who are going to work. That somehow God will get them to work, because not all employers understand. Not
Mm,
there are some that understand, but some do not. But people have to go to work. Yeah. So, but we
oh,
thank God. When God sends the rain, it gives the farmers joy. For those who are still running on rain-fed systems, and then it cools the atmosphere as well. But it's just that when you're going to work and you don't have a car, you have to walk in the rain. But hey, let's see things from the better side of life. Mm. But we thank God for the rains, because if you don't have rains, like allow. So we want to thank God for the rains.
all right. Thank you very much, Buki. Susan, how are you today?
Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Buki. On the contrary, the sun is shining here,
Wow.
shining like shining. Late evening yesterday, there was this strong wind and everything, and I was like, dear Lord, thank you I didn't step out of my house yesterday because, of course, the 10 million women I was supposed to be at that venue, but I've been dealing with sunburn for the longest, so I wasn't even ready for anything outdoor. It's not for me. So this morning, that rain eventually did not fall after all the breeze and everything. And this morning, if I show you my window, everywhere the sun is blasting.
You see
So yeah,
how
it's different story, different for story for
Yeah,
different person,
yeah. That's
you know.
the greatness
But
of God.
we're grateful for,
Mm.
I'm telling you, but we're grateful for everything, at least the fact that we're alive. And it's also an opportunity to also advocate to those listening to us who are employers of labor as we go into the rainy season. Let's be more compassionate and considerate. People take public transport and it's more difficult to commute on rainy days. So, just give that grace so that people can get to work. Thank you.
right. Thank you to Susan. Yeah, so give that grace. If you can give people lift, give. Oh, even if you would collect your money, at least don't fly empty if you can, okay, to your various destinations. Because today I know say go hard for some people to get to work. All right, so yes, this is her lens right here on Women Radio WFM 91.7. So when Susan was talking about the weather in Abuja and how, breeze go come, you go see cloud, but it go come be like say somebody just they move the cloud, they come out for there. But then that's how, wonderful God is. But again, Susan, climate change. Now they cause all these things like this. So as God gave us
Absolutely.
the
Like
earth.
if you see the change in weather yesterday evening, if you see the breeze, if they tell you say rain no go fall, you no go believe. So I just
Mm,
reflected on our climate change, what we discuss on climate care and all of that. I'm like, okay, we are seeing it. We are seeing it live and direct.
and that's it now, because God gave us the earth to take care of. We now carry the earth. We're not doing anyhow with it. And now the earth is now giving us, some of the repercussion of doing all the wrong things to it. But hey, the same God is merciful again to keep us through it. So hopefully we get to understand that some of our activities are what is changing the course of, the usual things that we get to see as regards to our weather, and how we have gotten to this point with all of the flooding we face. Although flooding, man effort day inside that one, because when they say don't throw things here, we will not hear. We'll still gonna be doing it. Don't do open defecation, we will not hear. We'll still gonna be doing it. So I mean, well, now our stubbornness they bring some kind things sometimes. But anyway, let's leave it. Let's leave it at that. All right. So yes, this is her lens right here on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. You can be a part of the program by dialing 07000 You can also dial 09155 Please go ahead and let us get to hear from you through our WhatsApp messages 07031756537 or 08155 Those are the numbers to get in touch with us this morning on Her Lens. All right, so let's quickly start up with the issue of friendship. And this is a story that, has been trending. Every day you get to hear new things coming up. Now, this, minor who his friends, I think they're friends from maybe primary school or secondary school. And then so because probably the guy has been posting some kind of pictures and all of that, they came together, connived, and wanted to, plan to kidnap this young man and maybe ask for ransom. But along the way, they killed the guy and still asked for ransom, but they were caught. Now, these are people that, he trusted. So right from some time ago, they've been telling him, oh, come around, come around, come around. But he stays with his sister, who will not allow him to go that far because, I mean, he's still, a minor. So when the boys got a location closer to where he was, so he decided that, okay, since, they're my friends, let me go and visit them. And then he goes to them. At the end of the day, they tie him up. They do what they wanted to do with him, and that actually led to his death. And then they were caught, and before you know it, they came up started saying that, oh, they wanted to collect ransom. One said they wanted to open a vibing saloon, and so on and so forth. But does that take you to the point of killing another human being, somebody that actually called you his friend? So I just want us to talk about this a little and draw the ears of our younger ones, draw the ears of a lot of parents and guardians and siblings to actually take note, because now you don't know who be friend again. They know the right murderer for person forehead. They know the right evil person, evil for person. You know who know. You don't know what is in people's hearts. It's only God Almighty that knows what is in each and every one of our hearts. And let's not forget that the Bible also said that the heart of man is desperately wicked. Now that wickedness, you don't even know who is wicked. It could be that it could be your own mother gone, 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 gone. It could be that it's your own father. In fact, it could be somebody very close to you, let alone somebody that is far. And if somebody very far would do that kind of thing to you, then be rest assured that there must be somebody inside, that gave that room for that thing to happen. So I mean, let's start with you, Susan, on this friendships, young ones, and we as parents and guardians, how much more protection can we give so that all of these things at least will come to an end? Because as we're talking now, it's not be of surprise where you see another person getting killed at the moment just because his friends called out. I mean, we've seen young girls who have been killed for, killed by people they trusted. Okay, come and see me here, come and see me here. And then because we easily trust and we give in to it, so before you know it, that has led to the death of a lot of young girls. Okay, so let's just quickly speak on this and then we'll move on to other things.
Okay, so I don't want to. My heart really goes out to the family of the young boy, young teenager who lost his life. First and foremost, our prayers are with them. But in my language, there's something we say, Ozemena. That means let another one not happen. The friend you left in primary school, secondary school, university just last year or 2 years ago might not be the same person you will meet in 2026.
Yep.
Let's be clear. You do not know the cliques. You do not know the people they have interacted with. And the truth is, for you to go, and this is why I'm still referring back to the young lady who got an invitation but told her mom.
Mm.
Now, if that young boy maybe had intimate, it doesn't matter how close. My dear sister Rose, anything can happen anywhere. Anything can happen at anywhere. We put out the picture we want on social media.
Sure.
That does, I mean, in this era where there are filters and what have you, not be to find one cloth to wear. If AI will help you do one fine picture, if they see you, they go to say you just land from UK. I also think that aunties, uncles, please do not get tired of speaking to young ones. Don't see them as adults. Don't say, oh, they are already grown. No. Keep advising, keep encouraging them, keep speaking to them so that they understand that life is not always black and white. And like you said, Rose, the heart of man is desperately wicked. That young man left home to see friends, but the people he was going to see were his enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine where you leave your own house yourself to go and see your enemies who will unalive you. Keep speaking to young ones, whether they are in primary, secondary, or even university. Don't get tired of advising them because, I mean, there's an understanding that we have as the older people that they do not have. They do not reason issues critically. Trust me, even my primary school friends, my secondary school friends, live in Abuja where I live. And I some of them have even built houses with their families before I relocated. But because, and let me not generalize because they are also good people. But Rose, I have these things I've been hearing over time at the
Mm.
back of my mind. Be careful. You don't know who is who. The heart of man is desperately wicked, and all of this kind of thing. So I'm being cautious. Even one from my university days has been, let's meet in an open place. It has to be an eatery or any open place. I am not meeting you in any house. When I said it the last time, I don't know whether it was Fumi, she was like, I said, I no get leg to run. But yes, that is my reality. And I mean, but as a young person, whoever is targeting to harm you would have put everything in place. Even though you get leg, you feel no wrong. So ensure that any meeting point is in a busy place where people are. If you must see that friend you've not seen in a while, you don't know their plans. They see you post pictures, I mean, and they're already feeling like this one don't arrive. They don't know whether nagari you drink, my dear sister.
But yeah.
Package yourself.
Mm-mm.
Package yourself. As I remember, say HerLens this morning. Now, so I rush, go bath. Ordinarily, I'll still stretch on my bed, do some level of research, write some things for my LinkedIn and all. But as I remember, just package myself before the meeting. They don't know how you came about it. And come to think of it, you want to open a barbing salon and all of that. So unaliving your supposed friend
Possible. Mm-hmm.
is what will yield that. To every young person, whether you are below 18, you are above 18 to 35 and above, one of the fastest ways to block your destiny, it doesn't matter your religion, and this is me being realistic, is this get rich quick syndrome. It doesn't pay. I know a lot of things, especially when you go on the Black app and so many apps, you see a lot of things that push you. I look at some of the videos and I just shake my head. I'm like, this generation, in the next 10, 20 years, will there be something remaining out of this generation? Because look at the kind of things people put out just to make money. We have to be careful. And that is why I'm still calling on mothers, caregivers, schools, everybody that, is a guardian to a young person, even after graduating from the university. Don't give up on them. Keep speaking into their ears. You might think, oh, this one, they know they will hear. They will hear and prayerfully do so, no matter your religion. Even if you are not a Christian, you are not a Muslim, keep speaking into existence what you want for that particular young person. Let's reduce get rich quick. What is barbing salon that your friend should go for you to get a barbing salon? That is to also tell you how shallow-minded
Yeah.
some of these young people are. They don't have debt. If they have debt, come on. That time you even used to watch his videos or see his pictures online. You can use it to learn a skill that will put food on your table. Please, let us do right. Not just, even the holy book, I know none of the holy books will ask us to honor life, even if that person is not our friend. For the sake of humanity, you still have blood and water flowing through your veins. Let's stop this sharply. I must buy this, I must buy this, I must own a house, this. Haba, kilo day, please. It's just getting out of hand, and every other day we keep hearing different stories, horrifying stories,
Mm-hmm.
that bothers us. Even me, as a woman, I'm wondering, how did we get here? Is it that parents are not doing enough? Is it that the circle that they allow their children to interact with? But what of children who hide the circle they interact with? How
Yeah.
do we begin to address this? Yes, because I also know young children. I shared the story on HerLens last year. Her auntie seized her phone, a young secondary school junior, not even senior. And this guy got her another phone. Whenever she's home, it is switched off. Once she leaves home, she switches it on. This young man knows when to call her because she has left home. They know how to meet up. He
Hmm.
promised iPhone at junior secondary.
Junior
And that
secondary.
is why, yes, quote me, this one happened in my own presence, not be say they say, before me, Susan. Junior, not senior. And so it continued that way. That is why I say, don't think this one is small. Keep speaking to your children over time. If not that the guy bought the iPhone, and I've never owned iPhone, and I'm actually indifferent. I'm contented with the one God has given me so far. The day we have money for iPhone, we use. Teach your children contentment. This girl, because they said they will take her to swim in a hotel and buy her
Hmm.
iPhone, they did all of that, Rose, and she lost consciousness.
Oh.
It was because she lost consciousness, and this same family had to come to pick up her body, and
Hmm.
she was menstruating continuously, like continuous. This is a child. I thought. So you see, please, all hands needs to be on deck. I keep saying it. I don't know what we speak to at our moral instructions in secondary school. Please, teachers, caregivers, keep speaking. Class teachers, keep speaking. At university level, Parents, guardians, whoever is your support system, keep speaking. Young ones, forget the get rich quick syndrome. Trust me, if you work hard, you will still get to wherever you are destined to get.
True.
Remove your hand from dirty deals, shady deals, blood shedding deals, and all of that, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Suzanne. This is definitely a lot to take in when we get to see what is happening to a lot of our young ones just because, because of friends, because of, material things and all of that. So we have a responsibility to keep talking until we see the change that we really need to see. All right, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, 29 minutes to 10, right here on your Women Radio. Please do well to send us WhatsApp messages to 070-317-56537 or 08155-917-917. Please do well to call 09155-917-917 or 07000-917-917. All right, Buki, let's get to hear from you what your thoughts are as regards this and the warning that you will warn us as regards to friends.
Okay. Thank you, Susan. She said a whole lot. And what else can I add to it? If I want to add one or two things, I'll probably add from the dimension of we understanding that our value system has been eroded, and parents now, caregivers, those who are molding lives, we should not live in denial.
Mm,
At our own stage too, after secondary school, we were going to friends' places. Oh. We'll
mm-hmm,
just move from one place to another place. Why? Because as at that time, the fear of God was still high. So if I can say the fear of God quotient was still high, even when you move to your friend's place, right? You will see, parents there. You understand? Even those who probably were living with their maybe big aunts or whatever it is, their aunts, there's no big aunt, aunt is aunt. Okay, well, whatever it is that they're bringing their relatives, you will still see an adult figure, around that. Even when you are entering, they're already asking you that, oh, where are you, your dad and mom, just to get
mm,
to know who is even coming into that. So there was that bit of value system, still there. And they had also pumped it into us, that show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. I doubt if we have not dropped the ball right
mm,
now, and also let us face the fact some people might not like what I want to say. A lot of us have not brought ourselves to bring in God into the training of our children.
children, sure.
We have left God outside of the home. You understand? And the children are left to what they see. And that's why they say that environment changes. What do these children see? In our own days, say the television that is going to be on at 5 o'clock. You understand? But
Mm-hmm,
like now, it's everywhere. Wake up in the middle of the night, you have access to YouTube, you have access to so many things, which we did have, as at that time. So the environment has affected us. Why am I saying this? Is for us to really know what we are confronting. Now that we know, what do we do? Number one, how do we train our children? I talked about the God factor. We have to bring it back into the home. Then also critical thinking. We have to bring it back to our children. How do they think when you're not there? So you have to start teaching them even when you are with them. Decision making, you have to train them as early as you can, because you will not be there when they take a decision. And if you have not molded them in taking right decisions, yes, you will tell them that sometimes, these things fail. But hey, you've got to get back. Let's
Yeah.
take instance of this boy. I'm still trying to figure out, I mean, the loopholes and all that, which is, I mean, like we talk here, continuous improvement. So this boy, I mean, from what I read, the sister sells phone accessories and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they have been seeing him with all kinds of phone, and living a false life, you know. Um, and of course, they, with their own value system, that, oh, you know what, I think we can kidnap this boy and get some money, because it looks as if they've been trailing him for the past 2 years after they left secondary school. So the
Yeah.
question is, what was the boy, how was the boy showing himself on social media? We
Mm-hmm.
talked about that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
True.
how do we show up on the streets of social media? We still have to talk about it, because this is one of the things that made them to say, you know what, let's target this boy. Susan has talked a whole lot about, training the children, this get rich quick syndrome, how do we curtail it and all that. So I'm also coming from the other angle of our own children is our own responsibility. Let us do all that we need to do. Let them know God, because this day and age, you have to pray for the children. You have to pray, your knees on the ground, you have to pray and lift them up, because you are not there, and you
Mm.
don't know when they will just veer off. Like here, I think he was going somewhere, and then he remembered that, oh, the friend's place was close by. Then there's always one thing I always tell my children, because this was how we were raised: you must always declare where you are going.
Where you're going.
And we now need to step it up. They might be going to Mushi, and they get to Mushi, right? And from Mushi, their friend is saying, oh, okay, you're going back home. You know what? And while we are going back, can we just stop at Ilupeju? When you stop at that Ilupeju, what did you tell? So you now have to step it up to say, anywhere you are. I know there are apps now that tracks, but I know that their own generation will say, Mommy, why are you trapping my app? But we can get them to have confidence in us. Oh, Mommy, I'm about leaving, but my friend said we should stop by at Ilopeju. Where in Ilopeju? Where in Ilopeju? Whose friend is that? Okay, when you get there, let me speak to the mother. That was the way we raised us, they raised
Mm-hmm.
us. So I am saying we have to bring it back, right? If you want to use the modern tools, I know some families that use modern tools, even to the extent that whatever their son is checking on the laptop, the son is far away. Whatever the son is checking on
Yeah.
the
They
laptop,
get to
it is
know.
beaming on their, okay. Your son don't enter one website. So there are apps, and then of course you can track wherever. But like I said, our younger generation will not want to be tracked and all that. But you can actually sit them down and talk. Let them know. And then when they want to go to a friend's place, I remember my home. There was one day I said I was going to a friend's place. Do you know that she carried me to that friend's place? I was like, Mommy, don't worry. She said, no, I want to see this, your friend. She took me inside their compound, waited for the friend to come out. So the friend actually saw that, now, so if there's anything, she knows where. You understand?
Mm.
So we should also give that little bit after you have trained them, right? And then another thing, because I'm talking about solutions, I've talked about prayers, I've talked about introducing them to God very early, I've talked about retraining them on decision making, critical thinking skills, and I've also talked about transparency, openness. Tell me where you are going, it's for your sake. You understand? And of
Yeah.
course, hey, yes, if you have to grant them to say you're not going, because you still have that authority until they are 18. I know this one is already 18. I mean, she's done
Mhm.
her best. You understand? Until you are 18. I mean, that's the age of responsibility. And then, we also need to let them begin to know, friends change. I think Susan said that. A friend of 2 years, you never know what environment the person had lived, what kind of people he had mingled with. You understand? So you also
Mhm.
want to check out before you say you are friends. I remember the ladder of friends. Everybody is not your friend. There are acquaintances, there are strangers. You even start with strangers. You don't know nothing about them. You just meet in class, you just meet on the street. They are not your friends. They are strangers to you. You now begin to climb. What is the value system of this person? What is my own value? Can we even talk? Can we even, work together and things like that? So if it's just classroom, let it be classroom. It is only when you now begin to see that your value system are the same, you reason the same, your discipline quotient is the same, then you can now begin to go higher to say, oh, this one is my friend. That is when you can call somebody your friend. But if it's just hi hi, we met in school, these are things that we need to begin to talk. So I'm advocating that we need to do more. Don't let's say the way we were raised, the society was sinner then. We still had the consciousness of God. You
True.
understand? How can a 20-year-old boy or 18-year-old boy kill, and then what did they do? They now had to chop up his body. Where did they get that from? Is it not social media? I can't mention some films that I had watched that happened. You understand? So environment affects. And maybe that is why I think, is it Lagos State or Nigeria now that is saying, you know what, when you are young, we will ban this issue of you having smartphones and things like that. We need to come up to say, what kind of society do we really want? How do we control it? I'm not saying we should over control, you understand, but how
Mm.
do we how do we get sanity back? But primary responsibility of the person is the parent. You brought the person home. Train that person. And the truth about it, or another side of it, is the fact that if you don't have, you can't give it. And that's why if you have to subject yourself to parental courses in the 21st century, because things have changed though. Hey, things have changed. Shabi, Susan said another one. I mean, the case of that. And you also even need to understand languages and body languages. When somebody is too quiet, you should be wondering. You should be wondering.
Yeah.
The person does not talk to anybody, just locks himself or herself in the room. And you should be worried. You understand? I want to know your friends. Who are the people that you are moving with? What's the mindset? What's your mindset? Engage them, converse with them, and let them know that you're friends. So even when they want to go somewhere, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
They should be able to say, I want to go to a friend. And then for you to say, who is this your friend? Where does he stay? Try and get one or two things. And then you can help the person that, when you see this danger sign, when you see all these things, I beg, run. Oh. And then there's something I always tell my children. I say, when you get to a place, and then God is a good God, intuition. We also need to let them know. But I always tell them, I say, when you get to a place, even if you are not calling, just pose as if you are calling. Talk, you might not necessarily have to call me. You understand? But call your
Mm-hmm.
sister, call your brother. Hey, so, I'm here. In fact, do you want to speak with him? Oh, say, okay, call, give the phone to him. You understand? And let me say hi, so that the person, even if the person wants to do something bad, the person knows that, I would, I can't do the why, because when you are entering the home, mommy, I've just arrived. I'm blah, 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 blah. Oh, mom, do you want to say hi to my friend? And all that. So at least you can trace it. And then when you want to leave, you say, oh, yeah, let me call my mom. Mom, I'm about to leave and all that. At least give them details and things like that. Don't say, did I do all this when I was growing up? I'm only saying that
Mm.
nǹkan tó gbà ń sin nìyẹn, but you have to put that foundation first in the children, not when they are 18. You now say you want to be policing them and all that. You should have started that, so that when you come up to say
Understand.
this is it, they will know why you are doing that. And then, of course, let them know what is happening.
Mm.
Let them know what is happening. Friends are bad.
Yeah.
Let them know what they've happened. So you can actually see that, let's say, let's profile friends. Let's get to know their parents. I can tell you, by the time they investigate, these people, they were not with their parents. And if they were with their parents, their parents are far away people. You want to set up a barbing shop. Is that the kind of friend that you want to move with? You understand? But
Mm.
we have to just pray that God will help our children, honestly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Buki. I like how we spend time to talk about this because at the end of the day, it's our children we're talking about, it's the future of Nigeria we're talking about. A lot of things are happening, and if we don't put a stamp to it, we might just be in trouble, as regards the next generation that should take over the leadership of the country, of our homes, of their lives at the end of the day. All right, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is Talents, where we discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues. And it's about 14 minutes to 10 right here on Women Radio WFM 91.7. All right, so please do want to be a part of the program. All right, so let's quickly look at this video that came out yesterday as regards to soldiers who are assaulting a journalist. Now, there was a bit of chaos, along that particular route. And then we saw a video of a Nigerian soldier who was assaulting an editor of the cable, online paper. Now, this disagreement, came from a traffic flow in around Ikeja, and then we could see that I think the soldiers were they were trying to maneuver, they were controlling the traffic close to an event, off Ajawo Road. And then, one of the tricycles that came around, the soldiers ordered him, or, sort of told him to carry another soldier, as for punishment. Because he was, I think they tried to stop him, he didn't stop or something like that. And then that in itself was causing traffic more for other people. So I think the journalist just said something, and then before you know it, the soldier came on and started assaulting him and even wanted to use a plank on him. And let's not forget that a few days ago was Press Freedom Day, and we've been talking about how journalists have been attacked at different points and at different times. We've read it here, we've talked about it so many times. But with this case right now, it just seems like misuse of power or abuse of power, or because you are in that uniform, every other person should be afraid of you, or should not every other person should probably bow to your whim. And nobody can actually talk to you, or be able to stand up to you because you are in that uniform. Meanwhile, you are in that uniform because you are to protect the lives and the lives of citizens. So just because he's a civilian, just because you've gone through training, you're wearing that uniform now, it seems like, oh, we're no longer on the same level. So this journalist, was assaulted, his phone broke in the midst of it and all. So we just have just about 9 minutes, not even up to nine, like 6 minutes, to wrap up this conversation. But Buki, let's quickly hear your thoughts as regards to this video, and the first thing that came to your mind and what we can do better as citizens, just in a few
Okay.
minutes, and then Susan wraps it up for us.
Okay, that's fine. What can we do? Um, I think the question we should be finding out is what happened that they behave like this. What was the mold system that molded them? That
Mm,
once they put on that uniform, they see themselves as lords. Why would you commandeer somebody who is doing his business to carry a personnel? I've had that, and that sometimes when I go on public whatever, that I get to see some of those things. That why. In fact, I mean, then some years ago it was more like there was a particular trip, and the guy said, "Don't stop in that bus stop, because that soldier will not pay." And it's like, why won't they pay? But that's the society we find ourselves, and we're supposed to change that. It should be the their big organs. They cannot say they don't know. because
Mm-hmm.
you cannot fight them. They're already representing Nigeria. They are in the uniform. So you cannot fight them. You understand? And they have the power of the gun. That's why I am coming from, what process did they go through that made them to be behaving like this? And I know that we also have to talk to ourselves. They were in an event trying to control traffic. And you know how our people do. At times they say, "I want to and all that," and you just want to just do whatever you want to do. So, such, if they correct you, why won't they correct you because you did something wrong? So let's look at it from both angles. But what they did to that human being is very wrong. I want to believe that their big organs will have fished them out and will discipline them. Because somebody made a comment. So is it that this free expression that we're saying is wrong? I mean, it doesn't exist. Somebody said, oh, it is because of what they are doing that there is traffic. And you had, and the next thing you bundled him out and you are now beating him. Like what? Those people who did it, they should be fished out and they should be disciplined. And let this also reinforce the fact that there has to be a proper reformation, and let them tell them, if you act otherwise and we catch you or somebody reports you, because their numbers are there, and somebody reports you or do whistleblowing or whatever, you will see by the time they begin to get these things, they will begin to caution themselves and behave like a proper human being. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Buki. Susan, let's quickly hear your thoughts on this.
Yes. Okay, so for me, my way forward is simple accountability, better
Mm,
training. They
yeah.
need to be trained because most times we see them, they're always aggressive. They always want to show power. I remember someday we were driving into, and they were like, if you move, I said, I am a wheelchair user. This driver needs to move me close to where he can stop me with. Everything is not aggression. Everything is not aggression. So they need better training. And then, just like we are doing on Women Radio, we need to keep advocating and, informing citizens so that even citizens too, they'll be cautious of how to interact because you don't know who wake up from the left side. If they unalive you, no coming back to this side because, I mean, when rights are protected, everyone is safe. If this is happening broad daylight, a journalist, what happens to an average Nigerian without a name? Thank you.
All right. Thank you to
All right,
Susan.
thank you to Susan.
And thank you to Buki for your thoughts on this. I just hope that we get to a place where we're able to see all our security personnel as friends. We're able to see them as partners in making Nigeria better and just being there for one another. Now, while we know that it's not all of them that get to behave like this, but I think more training needs to be done, more enforcement of how to deal with civilians need to be done as regards to our security and our security operators and how they relate with everyday Nigerians. All right, so this is where we wrap it up for today on the program HerLens. Thank you so much, ladies, for being here today. And to each and every one of you who tuned in to listen to HerLens, we say a very big thank you for for being